Well, good evening, everybody. For those of you who may have been around with me last week, hello, welcome in, and I hope my audio sounds much, much better than it did. So I went, as always, to upload my videos after the stream was over, and I just clicked in and I was checking a few things, as I am wont to do. And my voice sounded really off. And I could not for the life of me figure out what was going on. And so I looked around and I could clearly see from the video that my nice, expensive microphone with the um, pop filter and everything was right here in front of me. It's on the arm, so that way it's not all shaking around and everything else. Come to find out that my system decided, even though I had said never use my webcam as a audio source. That's right. What happened? Wouldn't you know it? My webcam was the audio source. I'm actually really surprised it picked up as well as it did, being that it is behind the teleprompter that I am staring at right now. I was pleasantly surprised at how well it did come across. But much, much better here. Well, thank you. I am glad to hear that you can hear the difference as we come into the studio mic rather than the frickin' webcam. So, let's talk a little bit about our book. And our book right now is Spectral Braver. And I, at the start of every stream, am going to be reading this note to all of you because Spectral Braver is a little bit different than many books that you may have read in the past. So I always want to start out with this note to readers so you are aware of what to expect. And I will tell you that I read it last time. I may actually record it again here and repost it, so it's a much better version of this than the other one. But to let you know, uh, we did read through chapter 1 last week. If you missed it, well, have no fear. You can access the book in one of two ways. The first way, go to my YouTube channel, pull up the video, sit back, put your feet up, and have yourself a listen. That is one option for you. As a secondary option, you can go buy the book. Might I recommend the second option as the better option anyway? Because helps to support the author, and that is the right way to do this. If you look out on the descriptions on the YouTube or the Rumble videos, you should see the link to the author's book there. But let's go ahead and talk just briefly here about our note to readers. So, here we go. Note to readers. Spectral Braver uses a style dubbed novel cinematic. During your experience, you'll notice a few unusual things. Every paragraph, regardless of length, represents a continuous camera shot, often including multiple concurrent character perspectives on scene. Dialogue is always tethered to either the announced speaker, their loudest thought, or their actions. Italics are employed to convey changes in communication sources such as phones, loudspeakers, and writings, as well as non-translated spoken regional expressions and honorifics, implying slight signal interference in communication. Furthermore, characters will often string inner monologue into verbal dialogue or respond verbally to thoughts directly. Time is also liable to shift in the prose to reflect the distance of a given memory from its subject. Please don't be alarmed, for after a certain point in this story, you will be alongside the dead, witnessing their uncanny reality. If all they have is thoughts, surely one would experience those in their presence. thus to facilitate the unusual transition to the ethereal realm. Think of these books like seasons of a TV show that you can read, shot by shot, scene by scene, like a cinematic storyboard. Within this format, thrilling action, set pieces, and deep emotional experiences with vivid characters await you. May this provide an unforgettable experience. And I will tell you, it's very different for me to read, and that is quite acceptable. And so far, I've really enjoyed the story. I also got a comment from somebody on X that they said that out of the indie author books that they read, I want to say it was last year, this was easily in the top 5. So it gives you an idea of what it is that we are here to experience. So just from me, a couple of housekeeping notes. The first is, I record all of these chapters, which is why you can go back and catch chapter 1 on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@SirArminius. If you haven't already, I'd appreciate a subscription there. They're free. It just helps me to continue to provide this service to the indie authors. So you can catch any of them there, but because I do record them, it does mean that I don't stop in the middle of the chapter to answer your questions. Please be assured, I am watching the text streams as they come in, and I will be happy to answer your questions when I finish the recording of that chapter. Now, some of these chapters are a little bit on the longish side, and that's okay. It just means that you may have to wait a little bit longer than you might have expected before you are able to get the answer. To that end, I had some questions come in towards the beginning of chapter 1 last week. And I wanted to address them here. I addressed them last week as well, but just in case the viewer was able to return. The first gave me a couple of different categories of books and asked if I had ever read those. And I have not. One of the categories was Warhammer 40K. I have done a lot of Battletech reading. I used to play MechWarrior online, and while I was searching for matches, I would read Battletech books to the audience. So I have read quite a few of those, but none of the other categories that had been listed. The other was, how is it that I come up with how do I do the voice that I do? How do I come up with the voices for the characters? Things like that. And I will tell you, I don't read these books ahead of time. For me, I want to be in the moment with you when I am doing a live reading. I want to experience what Ben is going to experience. I want to have the twists and surprises come to me just as they would come to you guys. I think for a live reading, it makes it much more engaging for both of us. If this was an audiobook, very different. I read those multiple times ahead of time. I record them. I go back and I fix flubs. You can't do any of that on live reading. So I come up with voices off the top of my head as I go through. I read it fresh with you guys, having never read it before. How do I do that? A lot of practice. I do these live readings 2 times a week. Plus, when I was playing MechWarrior Online, at a third night that I was doing live readings there. That is a ton of practice, on top of being an audiobook narrator and a lifelong reader, things like that. If you go back and listen to some of the first videos I put out to now, you will see that there is a tremendous difference. But, as with all things, practice does make perfect. So, there we go. You guys are welcome to put any of your questions into the chats. I would recommend, if you are interested in doing so, stopping out to the YouTube channel to enter your questions. Not only is that typically the main channel that I look at as we go through, but you might find that sometimes you'll run into the author there as well. And I am certain the author would be happy to answer questions that you might have about the book, as long as it's not a spoiler about what's coming up next. With all of that said, everybody sit back, relax, and prepare to enjoy as we dive into another night of indie author goodness reading Spectral Braver by Tiago Resende. This is the first arc. There are more beyond this book. But now, it's time for us to dive in with Chapter 2, The Belle of Sleepy Hollow. Ben wakes up exhausted. Every single detail of last night's nightmare is fresh in his mind. Who was that awful, scary woman? What about that dark energy mass inside the piano hall? Dragging himself out of bed, it is obvious the house now has an entirely lighter atmosphere. Looks out the suite's main window into the street. Once more, residents and shoppers are going about, so that's normal. Cloudy weather, though, which renders the house a lot shadier than it was yesterday. The pause. Well, there's no point in stressing over what room has sinister stuff lurking within. It's daytime. Should be fine. After a shower and a shave, dons his scrappy denim vest and steps out of the house. Crossing the threshold of the gate, turns back, fixated on the attic window, wondering if he will see anything up there. Nothing. It was a dream, you dork. Everyone took the trouble of making you paranoid before you got here. Get a fucking grip, will ya? Dick move, by the way, Carl. Jeez. Right. Smokes and food. Reframing concerns with a deep exhalation, closes the rickety gate. Proceeds to browse the department store window. A block over. Come in! A blue-eyed store clerk, scruffy gray hair and matching mustache, wearing a vintage leather apron, cheerily calls out, "Been a while since we've seen folks from out of town around here." Ben returns a cordial yet reserved smile at this typical platitude. "Well, I actually moved here yesterday." "Oh?" The man's front wrinkles in worry as he looks to the side. "Yep, I'm the guy who moved to the house that time forgot over there." A humorous smirk. The man scratches his gray head. "I'm not one to meddle, sir, but do you know the Manor's history?" "Yeah, got the general briefing of what happened. I was moved here on company business. Can't really disclose what it's for, but I'll be here for the foreseeable future. History or no history, it's my job." "And your job is, if you don't mind my asking?" At this point, the clerk is in full nosy mode. So much for not meddling. Ben adjusts the glasses. He really doesn't like people prying into his business. It's a quid pro quo thing. He doesn't do it, expects others to reciprocate. Writer. Anything else as far as details are concerned would be in breach of the non-disclosure agreement I signed. So... The clerk glares at the youngster. Must be some corporate big shot. "Have I ever read anything you wrote?" the man inquires, still. "I doubt it. I write technical stuff that goes into consumer products." "I see." The old clerk assumes the conversation ended and returns to his affairs, which seem to entail inventory. Ben picks up a few groceries. The plan was to do a chickpea curry with the spices he brought from Mom's house. Walks up to the counter and asks, "You stock smokes?" "Sure, black leaf tobacco. Rolling papers?" "No regular cigarettes?" "No, sir. That's down at the gas station down the road, about 5 miles that way." Points to the south. The young man is touching his glasses again, realizing that the only place likely to be open at night is well out of regular walking distance. "Okay, I'll try those out, I guess." Proceeds to place the basket on the counter. The transaction is done. He's about to step out the store when the old man beckons. "Sir?" Ben turns back. "Yeah?" "My family. They worked for the Craigs. My grandpa told me stories. We're talking good people. Polite people. Didn't deserve such a tragedy. And that stained that house, you see. So much sadness in there." Ben knows. That place doesn't feel normal at all. It's in the walls, the floor, and the space between them. There is a persistent sense of déjà vu ever since he stepped foot in that place. "You really believe there is something in there?" "Not something. His daughter, a woman of immense beauty and kindness, if you go by the stories. No matter how many people go there to take pictures and mess around the place where she lived, that's her house, and will always be her house. Locke's eyes to the floor. Was that the murder victim? Felicity Craig Williamson? What's your name, sir? The man asks. Ben Freeman. Mr. Freeman, if I may be candid with you, please leave her be. She's suffered enough. Once more adjusts his glasses at the prying. I'm the sort of person that stays out of other people's business. Don't take this the wrong way, but you're kind of preaching to the choir here. The man politely nods. I'll do my best to stay out of her way, if she stays out of mine. Have a good day, Mr. Bert. Everyone calls me that around here, since my younger days. The grizzled clerk draws a kind, warm smile. Nice to meet you. I'll be seeing you. Likewise, Mr. Freeman. The bag-carrying youngster walks out of the store and wonders what in the actual hell just happened there. The old man talked as if he was barging into someone's house. Arriving at the gate, stares into the attic window again. Though the sunlight's hitting it directly, something dark visibly moves away from it, reacting to his arrival. Yeah, definitely not alone in there. This obviously changes things. Luckily, over the course of the day, the sky cleared, which gave Ben sufficient natural light to put the rest of his stuff away and organize his room and study. Now, this feels like a home proper. Does some back stretches. Picks up his backpack and opens it to go through a bunch of loose items, mostly computer cables. But in the moving chaos between the Airbnb and his mom's house, realizes there were a couple of things stuffed in there he had lying around, in his old room. A baseball and leather mitt, treasured mementos from his junior league days back in Pittsburgh, when things were simpler, but nonetheless, over. Yeah, clicks his tongue. These go in the attic, but he was just there an hour ago, gritting his teeth while dumping several boxes full of Japanese model kits and gaming paraphernalia. It was weirder than yesterday, attributed to the fact he felt as if he was being watched. An electricity in the air, which never failed to raise his skin. Yep, I'll just leave this here, dropping them over the support table next to the coat hanger. Takes a deep breath to force the change of subject and heads to the kitchen. "'Kay, curry time." Yet, before stepping in, his tendency to crack jokes when nervous gets the better of him. "Miss Williamson, if you or the kids are hungry, it's curry night. You like curry?" Absolute silence. "You're such an asshole sometimes," confesses to himself. Stepping into the kitchen, a distinct and familiar creak upstairs could be heard, a door closing, followed by footsteps. Widens his eyes at how reactive that was. Yeah, dumbass, keep poking the bear. An hour or so later, the rich and pervasive scent of curry filled most of the house. Ben has set the table for one and is just putting out one of his rolled smokes. The smartphone starts ringing obnoxiously. It's his sister. "Hey, Em." "Hi, Ben. How have you been?" Expertly delivers her usual passive-aggressive bullshit. "Oh, sitting down for supper. Wishing she just gets to the point. So, you're in the place the company bought, huh?" "Yeah." I can't wrap my head around that." Realizes she called to start another fight. The "I don't understand" speech she puts up when aiming to make someone to feel stupid. This should be a pleasant exchange. "Around what?" "The company housed you. Why? You told them you're homeless or something?" Why not stay at Mom's house like we talked about? Why don't you? Or Jared? He's old enough. I mean, we go there on occasion, but it would be nice to have someone looking after the place, at least until we all agree to sell it. Money. Always the fucking money. I agree. You agree what, Ben? I agree we should sell the house. I don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. Mom's been dead for 2 years. The house is a dump. Garden's worse. Needs work. I can't take time to oversee those things. Besides, it would be nice to enjoy a spot away from home where I can organize dinner parties for partners, friends. The disgruntled chef is starting to boil at this. You seem to be under the impression that I give a shit, Em. Yeah, you don't, huh? Remember Mom told us to stick together? What does that look like to you? Me cleaning the house? Me on kitchen duty, cooking for your trust fund friends? Doing the garden, handling the bills? You tell me. You were always a natural at it. Why do anything other than what you're good at? Ben's limiter has officially been disengaged. Because you surround yourself with morons. Because you did jack shit. Well, me and Mom did everything. And the fact she's dead means. He grabs the corner of the table as if attempting to crush it. I don't have to do it anymore. A boy's voice wafts from the doorway. She's angry. A girl pleads. Connor, please. Mommy will worry. Let's go upstairs. Ben reacts to this by dropping the phone on the table, rushing out of the kitchen. No one. Not in the dining room. Not in the entrance hall. Yeah, I'll call back when you've calmed down, Ben. Ben? The call is still on, while the phone sits next to the empty dish. Meanwhile, he spots the baseball and mitt are now gone from the support table. Not enough toys up there, huh? You guys really shouldn't be taking stuff that doesn't belong to you. Walks back into the kitchen, notices the call ended. Fuck this. Curry's getting cold. 3:33 a.m. The temperature in the house has dropped sufficiently for a sleeping Ben to exhale great clouds of vapor, one after the other. We're sorry, sir. A chorus of 2 children is heard. He wakes up and looks at his nightstand to find the baseball and mitt neatly placed. An endeared smile at the puerile voices. Yells, No worries, just ask next time, okay? Thank you, kind sir. That was the woman. Coming from inside the room, on the other side of the bed. Ben turns to it. The veiled lady in her dark clothes swiftly floats across the room into the doorway with an abashed look. The veil partially reveals her face. A badly disfigured corpse, with what looks like multiple lacerations, holes for eyes, a gray withered expression. Miss Williamson? Utters in disbelief as she disappears out of sight, followed by a chilling request. Please, don't call me that. The attic door is heard opening with its distinct creak and closing, politely. An uncanny silence invades his quarters. It's happening. The disheveled man is confused. Is she not the lady of the house? Gets up and goes down into the entrance hall to pick up his smokes. Now hyper-aware of the entire house, every little sound coming from the woodwork, contracting under the night chill, fills his ears. Tries to roll one, but he's having trouble with the shakes. Feels a distinct presence momentarily emanating from the piano room. This house is messed up. Puts the tobacco down and walks upstairs to the study. He needs to understand what's going on here. Boots up the laptop, loads the entirety of the House briefing folder on screen. Felicity Craig Williamson, daughter of the late Honorable Colonel Gunner Craig and her 2 children, Gunner Jr. and Lydia, slain by husband and father Jack Williamson in most horrid fashion. whose bodies were carried by Sleepy Hollow constables among pained cries from the populace, found on the manor's parlor with the broken body of the murderer. Demise came about by self-inflicted manual strangulation. What the? How the fuck you do that? Uh, Country authorities have ruled the cause as suicide. Wait, the parlor? What parlor? Ben boots up a search engine and looks up the term. Ah, place of entertainment and social gatherings. Duh, old school term. So that would be... His eyes widen. Oh, fuck. The agitated man gets up and runs downstairs. As he stands in front of the piano hall, hazed by the light coming from the stained glass panes on the front door, doesn't find that blackness he saw in his dream. But that place is definitely active today, and it isn't her. Way creepier. Please, sir, leave that place alone. The woman's voice is directly above him. Looks up to find her, standing by the balcony, lit up by the pale moonlight, staring at him from the blackness of her eye sockets. What's your name? He yells. Please, sir, softly pleads, while she floats back into the attic entrance. Ben is feeling chills all over his body. Walks up to the table to pick up the tobacco and finally manages to roll a cigarette. It dawns on him. Felicity Craig Williams. No, that's... He rushes to the stairs, puffing smoke. Miss Craig? Only silence. I'm sorry. I realize that was insensitive. I know what happened to you. The small girl's voice comes out from behind him. Mommy's sad. She's trying to go to sleep now. Doesn't turn around. He's already seen one too many in one night. Are you... Lydia? Yes, sir. Though a chirpy quality is noticeable, the tone is very sad. It's heartbreaking to hear from someone so young. Please tell your mother. I'm sorry. Tiny hoppy footsteps manifest around him, towards the stairs, stopping right at the landing below the stained glass window. Looks directly at the spot, deeply touched. This was their house. No, this is their house. Takes another drag and the footsteps start again, turning right into the attic. The disturbed young man walks out into the street, barefoot, wafting cigarette smoke. He got moved into this place, all the while not even thinking about how horrible this is. Just because it happened to someone else long ago. They're still here. He recalls what the child said. She is sad. Man, this blows. Tosses a cigarette onto the road and heads back in, much less wary about this strange house. Tomorrow, he's going to figure out what's going on here. Maybe he can help them. Somehow. The next morning he gets up, puts on some sweatpants, and walks barefoot to the attic door. Knocks slightly. Miss Craig? Sounds of morning birds fill the air. A car driving past. Knocks again, a bit louder. Miss Craig, could I have a word with you? What doesn't happen in the morning? He wonders. Don't open it, please. A softer adult female voice emerges. Would it be all right if I came in to talk to you? I'll close the door behind me. Attempts to negotiate the situation. Come in, the voice replies, as the door opens on its own, only slightly. All right, first base, he whispers jokingly, while nervously adjusting the glasses. Closes the door behind him, goes upstairs, and coyly bows as he's stepping in. Hello. Immediately self-critiques. Yeah, real smooth, you dork. Walks towards the attic window and looks outside. Cautious paces behind it, as if trying not to startle him. Heeled boots. The sense of being watched is a lot stronger now. The hairs on his body are raising. How come? It isn't dread that he's feeling, that is certain. It's like electricity floating around him. Best to not just stand there. So, I was wondering why you don't show up. It's weird, sure, but, it's really creepy, and I figured I might as well face it. You know what I mean? In his mind, Ben is already beating himself up. That was about as rude as one could be, off the bat. Someone in her condition doesn't want to hear that. He completely forgot how to talk to women. How depressing. He continues. Look, I know what happened. I know that you're still here, that you really don't want that door open. I get it. It's your house. I'm really sorry I had to barge in like this, but it's my job. My company bought this place. Please go. A sorrowful plea. The unwelcoming chill sharpens. Yeah. Still, if there's anything I can do for you, anything at all, you come find me, okay? Ben leaves the attic. While he's coming down the stairs, notices something jammed between the wall and the thick window frame. It's not a paint chip. It's the edge of a photograph. Old, heavily weathered. Pulls it out with utmost care. A young blonde woman in strikingly similar attire to the ghost, tilt hat and all, sat on a chair beside a table with dark flowers. A humorous smile. Seems the type to enjoy comedy. Charming. Belle of Sleepy Hollow, 1861, reads on the back. The speckled sepia and small size of the frame is making it hard to see her clearly. Taking off to the study, yet doubles back to make sure the attic door is closed, then excitedly goes in, pulling a portable scanner from the desk's drawer. Okay, magic eye, give me sight beyond sight, proclaims in jest. Scans a picture and the laptop lights up with a notification. Received. Open now? Ben clicks the thumbnail, which loads directly into his editing software. After attempting a couple of noise reduction layers, he sees her. That's a Belle, all right. The magnified face on the picture reveals an exquisite Nordic beauty, with striking, friendly eyes, slightly slanted upwards, a shapely, delicate chin, and well-defined lips. Couldn't make much of the nose after the filters, given the lighting used in the photo. Probably cute. Her whole face is cute. The young man gets up, disturbed by his own jovial considerations. That woman is dead. Feels weird about it. Bro, you're seriously thinking what you're thinking? Stop it. Here's keys jiggling downstairs and the front door opening. Steps out the study to find Jesse and Carl coming into the house. Hey, buddy, settling in, huh? Carl greets the disheveled, pant-wearing, barefoot denizen. Jesse is already raising an eyebrow, commenting in displeasure. Quaint. 2 days already smells of curry and cigarettes. A regular Bombay slum. Ben casually comes down, shoves both hands in his pockets, throws an Indian accent for shits and giggles. Man's got to eat and smoke. I would prefer you order takeout instead of using the kitchen. Smoking outside, also preferable, Mr. Freeman. She walks around the entrance lobby as if inspecting the preservation of their garbage furniture. Any progress on the document? The employee goes for his smokes and walks out of the house. Carl nudges Jesse on the side. It's been 2 days since he moved in. Let's give him a break. Besides, getting to know the place is part of the research. Oh, that part is definitely underway, Ben claims with a clear, ironic bent. Fatso rushes up to him. You saw things? You heard them? Takes another drag on the cigarette. The whole 9 yards. His manager's face lights up. Oh, man, I knew it. So it's real? Yep, it's real. It's also fucked up beyond words other than... fucked up. Real comfy place, gotta say. That bad, huh? You managed to get some sleep? Yeah, kinda. Jessie joins the pair outside, clacking her heels fierce. Mr. Freeman, I trust you're not exchanging impressions with the locals about what you're doing here. NDA? without looking at her. Good. Flossie walks back into the house and starts looking around. Pulls a tablet from her bag and starts snapping at the furniture and woodwork. What a massive control freak. People like her really let their position go to their head. Ben turns to Carl. Any good reason why she's here? Come on, buddy. She's HR. She needs to make sure you're looking after the investment. He realizes this isn't any different from what M proposed last night. The greasy manager proceeds while putting his arm around his shoulders. Now you're settled in, right? Take your mind off things, order a nice greasy pizza. Shifts to whispering. And smoke away anywhere you like. Fuck what she says. I want you happy, man. The young man nods with a wince from the direct sunlight. Why is this door in the hall jammed? Jessie yells from upstairs. No idea. It's the attic. But you could try asking that question to the people who came to work on the house. Ben loudly punctuates his reply with an even deeper scowl. Turns to Carl. Can you guys go? I'm fine. The house is fine. I need to get started with work. Boss needs this in 2 months, right? Fatso steps back. You know, if there's anything you need, I got you. Jessie! She shouts back. Yes? Inspection done? Jessie comes down the stairs. Yes, done. Mr. Freeman, please take the company's recommendations to heart. Sure, this is your living space for the next 1 or 2 years, but I need you to look after this place like any other company asset. Is that clear? Crystal, thanks for coming by. And next time, turns to them before walking back into the house. Try a thing called knocking. Shuts the door. A little girl's voice. That's not his wife, right? The ghostly sidebar elicits an earnest chuckle from the young man. 8:25 p.m. Ben sleeps at the desk in the study, head nestled in his arms, slouched over, bathed by the screen's blue light. A first draft of the document sits on the screen, most of it about Felicity. Behind the scattered documents, the browser window is on the Donnie's Pizza website. The doorbell rings with an actual bell. It seems they preserved the original. He is clearly exhausted, doesn't even hear it. It rings again. Through one of the glass panels beside the door, a blur of someone standing outside, dressed in red with a red package. The delivery man goes to ring again, but notices someone is on the other side. Sir? No reply from the shadow behind the glass. Donnie's Pizza. You order pepperoni, provolone, and red peppers, right? Sir? The shadow walks away. Sir? Hey, the pizza's already paid. I'm just leaving it here. A single medium box, a bag with a cola can. Time to bail. There's no shortage of paranoid people upstate, and this one is probably crazy, seeing as he chooses to live in the worst possible house, in the veritable spook central that is Sleepy Hollow. They don't pay him nearly enough. Mr. Ben? The shade of a boy, about 8 years old, really skinny, with bright carrot hair and brown pajamas, stands behind him. Ben is startled out of his chair. Who's there? The attic door creaks. It's the pizza, the ghost joyously informs. The door closes. Ben looks at his phone. It's 8:28. Darts to the entrance, and there it is. Thanks, kid. Brings it into the kitchen and sits down. That was a different kid. Starts eating a slice, holds it in his mouth while cracking the can open. The slice falls from his mouth. Peter Reitman. That was Peter Reitman. Bolts up the stairs to the study and brings up the archived police report on the murders that took place in the 50s. Those 3 colorized profile pictures reveal that, save for that grim-faced patriarch, they're both gingers. So, husband offed himself after the wife and the kid, 8 years old. Shit. Toxicology reported possible traces of chloroform in their lungs. Gets up and hurries to the attic door. Miss Craig? Is there someone with you named Peter? Felicity replies. Please, sir, leave him alone. Shakes his head. Don't worry, got no business with him. Is someone else there named Mary? Mary Reitman? She's gone. Lowers his head. What about Donald Reitman? After a brief quiet, she goes, He's in hell. Ben is disturbed by this creepy assertion. Is there a hell? For real? In the tapestry. As she says this, loud stomps can be heard downstairs, gradually coming up the main staircase. His exposure to this phenomena has dulled his fright reaction. He turns to the stairs and speaks in a commanding tongue. Are you Jack? Answer me. From below, his own voice is shot back to him. Are you Ben? Are you? His foolhardy stint with authority ends abruptly. Starts to walk back, visibly scared by what he heard. Felicity whispers behind the attic door. That's not him, sir. Please, don't let it come in. Ben has heard of this before in paranormal forums. They said demons sometimes manifested by calling upon the living using their own voice, or of someone they know. His only reflex is to stand up to this thing. Back against the door, he shouts nervously, Hey! Nothing for you here, all right? On the other side of the door, the corpse phantom of the once beautiful Felicity leans its head against it, her withered hand resting on the paneling. Only a good man would stand to protect them. The stomping accelerates wildly in Ben's direction, stopping right in front of him. The voice is no longer the same. Instead, a cavernous growl blows on his face. You belong to us. The young man is sweating bullets. Whatever that thing was, it's now gone. Goes down the stairs directly to the smokes. He's shaking again. Looks at the pizza sitting in the kitchen table across from the entrance. Lost his appetite. Turns to the piano hall. Came from there. Figured he would just smoke outside, but at the last moment before stepping out, goes up the stairs, back to the door. Miss Craig? Are you guys all right? No response. It looks as though that's about all he can do in this tense situation. Starts to head back down. From behind the door, Peter says, Felicity is scared. It's coming after you now. Ben storms out of the house, front door wide open. The street is once more deserted. Pulls distressed drags on the cigarette. The fuck am I supposed to do? Pacing in the middle of the road. Such ominous caution triggered his angered reaction to idle threats. Winter 2022, the New York subway system, 10 p.m. The train notification reads, Next stop, Penn Station. At the end of the car, a group of 4 hood rats are yelling at an old man who is sitting next to them, trying to not make eye contact. Ben is with his earpieces and eyes closed, but it gets so loud, he takes them off and calmly places them back into the jewel case. Gets up and walks towards the commotion. Fucking senile motherfucker! This is our spot. Get up, sit down there. Everyone is pretending it's not their business. What a trash society. Walks right up to the group, all of them taller than him. Doesn't faze him in the slightest. Sits beside the old man and looks directly at the guy with the white hoodie, being the loudest. Yo, son, got issues? The punk snarls while bearing menacingly at Ben. That looks practice to me. I don't know. This usually work? Twists lips with a straight stare. Motherfucker, you got about 3 seconds before I bust your ass. 1, 2... Locks eyes tauntingly with this insecure bully. Look at this fronting piece of shit. Turns to his pathetic friends. The young brawler notices his dominant hand is lowered. If he's starting to fight, that's really not where that hand should be. 3, bitch! The punk stomps towards the nerd. Too late. His arm gets immediately twisted behind his back, leg swiped, drops face first on the floor. The second rat gets a snapping taste of his left elbow from the side. Right uppercut to the chin. The third guy falls on his ass. No push required. But there was a fourth, wasn't there? Without noticing, Ben gets smacked on the back of the head with what felt like something steel-heavy. The fourth guy had simply moved out of the way, behind him. He collapses to the floor, and the coward that just dropped quickly gets up and starts kicking him in the stomach and ribs. No one helps. The old man has gone to his happy place and scooted along the bench, away from the tussle. "Now arriving at New York Penn Station. Penn Station is up." The speaker blares. The group rushes out the car as soon as the doors open. The bruised brawler sits on the floor, struggling, looking at everyone across from him, sees people burying their eyes in their phones, some recording it while whispering to each other. Turns to the old man. He looks ashamed, all right. Ben sighs, holds on to a railing and pulls himself up to sharpening pain. Walks to the exit so he can get out on the next station. Doesn't take his eyes off an entire car full of cowards. Utter disgust. Puts himself out for this? That doesn't change why he did it. Flicks a cigarette off, clenches his jaw, and stomps back into the house. "All right, Jagoff, you want a piece of me? Let's go." The house lies still. I can talk to them, they can talk to me. If I so much as hear you fucking showed up again, I swear to God. Gets tossed across the hallway into the dining room, falling on his ass. Cold wafts through the house. Gets up and adopts his fighting stance, right hand raised just below his chin, left hand in a fist, guarding the midsection, legs firmly planted sideways. "Try that again." His focus is honing. Any variation in wind velocity around him, he will know. "There!" Swings his whole body sideways into a whooshing backhand. The cavernous voice laughs from the piano hall across from him. Soon realizes the absurdity of the situation. He's shadowboxing. That's not going to stop that thing, surely. Silence rests upon him, but his anger doesn't relent. Bullies are bullies, seen or unseen. 3:33 a.m. Ben sleeps, rolled in his duvet as usual. Beside him, gently sitting on the bed, Felicity rubs her desiccated hand on his shoulder. He wakes up. "Mom?" The room is empty. Sits up and looks around. While staring at the moonlight coming from the window, he tears up, confessing, I miss you so much." This pain revisits. Felicity is behind the open door, where she stays until he falls back asleep. In this room, two miserable souls, each their own misery, yet sharing the same space. To understand people is what binds our dreams together. Adelaide Freeman. The light of dawn floods the entrance hall. Around the house, this light can be seen, shining from the east. Particles of dust float through the beams, angling down to the floor. A blessing, perhaps. Ben comes down in his boxers and t-shirt. It's warmer. Goes to switch the coffee machine on in the dining room and reaches for his smokes. But there aren't any. The whole thing is just gone, along with the papers and lighter. He's perplexed. I don't usually misplace things, right? Looks at the attic door, decides to go up there. Upon entering, several mech model kits he built out on the corner. He draws a big smile. Muted green eyes express how much he is endeared by this play area. "I'm so happy you can do this, guys. I know I said it. Knock yourselves out. So, you like model kits, huh? I had a ton of fun building those, you know." The kids laugh. "Well, I'm glad I could ingratiate my stay." "Sir, your decorum." Felicity's indignant voice springs behind him, really not sounding like the voice a corpse had. A lot less scary. "Oh, God, I'm sorry. Just realized he's in his undies. Not really used to uptight home environments." Yet before he swiftly leaves, "You guys wouldn't know where I left the smokes." She grumbles, "They're bad for you." Ben reflexively chuckles. Are you mothering me? No response. Okay, I'll just go. Sorry, kids. Get them all out of the boxes if you want. Someone's putting something out of the work I put into those, at least. Three children yell as he closes the door behind him. Thank you, sir. He has a resoundingly satisfied grin. Felicity floats to the door to see him off. This man stands on the threshold of their realities. No fear nor care in the world. She knows who he lost and why. His heart shouts into the void left by this wrong. And indeed, she heard it. Their connection, whence the dead touch the living, is powered by their life force. By probing carnal souls this way, much like a parasite would, a ghost's existence manifests from a dreamless slumber, wherein silence and darkness ease the passing of time. Felicity died in 1863. For a long period the house silently rested. She wouldn't move, wouldn't see. In the dark corners of the dusty Craig Manor their dead slept. She never saw Jack again. While much time passed for the living, most of the things she witnessed, done, or said were erased amidst this impenetrable quiet. Death makes such things wither and float away. But then the Reitmans moved in. Mom, can I pick my room? A skinny boy with carrot orange hair and red overalls and a thick white wool sweater runs into the entrance hall and rushes beside Felicity. Her deep purple velvet dress appears bloodied upon this translucent form. He turns back to the place where she stood, startled. Someone standing there? His mother in a polka dot red and white dress comes in. Her similar hair shines from the hairspray, framing the cerulean eyes she shares with her boy. The attic has more than enough room for your toys, she softly smiles. I get to sleep there? He asks, excited at the prospect. No, you'd need to take those stairs to pee at night. Just pick one of those rooms on the other side, okay? Okay, Mom. Peter runs across the landing to the bedrooms. No running upstairs, she yells. The father walks in, wearing thick, black-rimmed glasses, enough gel to make his perfectly coiffed hair look like a solid black piece, his gray suit ironed with the same amount of excessive care. Doesn't appear to be a warm individual. Mary, here's the house contract. Look over it carefully. Call me in the office if you have any questions. There's a phone in the department store down the street. Mary doesn't even look at him as he puts on his gray felt hat. She utters, Have a good day at work, Donald. Mom, this one, next to the bathroom. Peter points at the first room from the left corridor. It's fine. Go get your bags. I'll come up to help you shortly. His mother looks around. Despite the lusciously tasteful design of this place, with all this purple, there is some kind of sadness here. Is this to be her home now? Might not be worth the bargain on this place. Walks to the kitchen and takes out her smokes. She has a delicate visage, a classic Western beauty, yet there is a weight in her lost gaze, hinting at an empty marriage. As she sits on the old kitchen table and lights up a pensive cigarette, Felicity watches her from the dark. Who were these people? She felt like this wasn't her world. Couldn't remember much of the house at all, as it stood this day. Cardboard boxes and wooden crates, travel bags and scattered furniture, some of it strangely shaped and glossy, like oversized pieces of chinaware. She remembers a funeral, not really the people in it, but the black casket, closed, two smaller ones beside it. She couldn't understand, but those things go in the cemetery. The faceless wraith walks out of the house, trying to remember where that would be. Crossing the threshold, a deep gray miasma fills the air around her. She still sees the manor and somewhere in the back, the outline of a bell tower. The old Dutch. Runs to it. The cemetery crawls up the hill into the chapel. Looking at every headstone, seeks the word Craig. Knows that's her family name. Felicity Craig Williamson. It read, "That's her." She collapses to the ground. It was over. Sinking 6 feet deep, comes to be face to face with the corpse lying there, desiccated, cut up from forehead to neck, no eyes. She rises up to look at the 3 other graves with the same name: Colonel Gunner Craig, Gunner Craig Jr. Williamson, and Lydia Craig Williamson. Her family. Someone's missing. Everything about who she was is missing. In distress, gets up as if the weight of the entire world lay on her shoulders. Looks like that thing in the casket now. The blood on her dress is gone, but she remembers the blood. The tall shadow monster that killed them. He went after Gunner first, in front of the bedroom wing, stabbing him several times in the chest. Felicity ran to the child, whilst that monstrosity walked towards a small blonde girl in a purple dress coming up the stairs. Felicity is sobbing, "My boy! Ah! What did you do, Jack?" As she holds his lifeless body crimsoned, turns to the girl and sees this creature doing the same to her, just once, to her heart. "No! Please don't take them! Take me! Take me!" So much pain. It now walks towards her to give her the same fate. She accepts it. There is no life without her babies. None at all. It's sundown. The boy is setting up his makeshift racetrack for his toy car collection. A young girl's voice springs up in the attic. "Have you seen our mommy?" He swivels behind to find 2 darkened children, dressed in old clothes. The boy has dark hair, the girl is blonde. One slightly taller than him, the other much shorter. He's old enough to understand. Those aren't real people. Runs out of the attic in terror, through the stairs, into the kitchen where Mary is cooking the first meal for the 2 of them. Felicity bursts into the house, shifting through the door, desperately looks for her children. "Gunner! Lydia! Are they gone?" A face twisted in pain. The boy comes out of the kitchen and yells in tears, "Wah! Mom! There's a dead lady in the hall!" "What?" Mary shouts from the kitchen, while still stepping out. There's nothing in front of Peter, other than some of the boxes she didn't unpack. Felicity saw the boy in that moment, but now she is standing in the attic. The light from the window dimmed, unnaturally. The boy saw them, surely. She felt this from him. "Connor! Lydia!" desperately calls amidst sobs. "Mommy?" Gunner's voice fades into the attic. She turns to see the 2 children. Wailing in joy, collapses to the ground before them. "Oh, my sweet babies! I found you! I found you!" Holding each other tightly, the family of 3 cried, sobbed in muffled mourning and relief. A release from the anguish of loss. God has taken mercy on them, for they still have each other, her sweet, sweet babies. Dark falls over the manor. Felicity stands over Peter's bed as he sleeps wrapped in a blanket and quilt. The house has become to be quite cold. On his desk, a leather mitt and a ball placed next to a modest softball trophy. "Thank you for finding my children." The entrance door is heard opening. It's late. Donald steps inside and lights up the chandelier. In the middle of the floor, an old photo. Picks it up and flips it around. Belle of Sleepy Hollow, 1861. This was the one they mentioned at Town Hall when he went over to pick up the contract. The house, for its size and location, was unnaturally cheap, and he knew the reason. Death is not a thing which lingers in a house. This will only pointlessly disturb Mary and start another argument over her inability to control her emotional nonsense. Stuffs the picture in his dark long coat's side pocket, takes it off, places it in the coat hanger, and walks up the stairs. His wife is already fast asleep in the suite. Felicity stands behind him. This man and his cold demeanor remind her of Jack. Or was it the monster? Were they one and the same? Mommy? Lydia stands behind her, a veritable preschool version of the one they once called Belle, peering with the biggest honey brown eyes. Where's Daddy? He's gone, dear. He can't hurt us any more. She pulls on her skirt. But he was just joking. We're all right. Felicity stands in silence. The mother knows her daughter is too small to grasp what happened to them. Somberly prays. Father, are you sleeping somewhere too? Is that why I can't find you? I miss you terribly. The children too. Can't you find your way to us? The inevitable realization soon comes. If I'm dead, why does it hurt so much? As she falls to the floor in tears, Peter walks in wearing brown pajamas. Excuse me? He interrupts. You okay, lady? I'm well, my sweet boy. Why don't you go back to bed? Hurriedly wiping her grim skeletal face. But I am in bed, shoots back in amusement. She turns, only to see him vanish suddenly. In his room, Peter anxiously looks at himself while sleeping, horrified by the vision of the scary old dead lady, wishing he could just crawl back into his body on command. Why is this happening to him? Felicity phases into the room. She sees what's going on. The boy wanders off his body whilst in his dreams. You need to go back to bed, young man. Don't you have school tomorrow? Still the caring mother. No, you're not my mom. Please go away, cries without daring to look at her. Forgive me. I should, yes. Floats away from the doorway and heads downstairs. While she hovers over the main staircase, a tall, dark shadow with elongated arms comes out of the piano hall into the dim, spectral light that beams from the stained glass panels on the front door. Its visage, peeking under that unkempt mane, is pale, a monstrously stretched, grinning death mask with blackness for eyes, a glimmer coming from within, which turns to Felicity in a split second, then directly into the boy's doorway. She warps to the bedroom and slams the door. Get in bed now, the ghost commands. No, go away, he yells, hiding under the bed, shaking. Please, just do what I say. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't be here like this, pleads with as much gentleness as she can muster. The boy wakes up, screaming in his bed. Mom! Hops out of it and bursts through his bedroom door crying. Mary wakes up and rushes across to the other side to hold her child. What's wrong? Was it a nightmare? Checks Peter to see if he's physically unharmed, while he shakes uncontrollably. Starts bawling in the safety of her embrace. From his bedroom, Felicity stands close to the doorway, with her hands clasped in front and utters, Please, keep him safe. Sharp beams of early sunlight are cutting through the window of the department store. The sign on the door gets flipped to open. Ben is just coming around. Bert greets him at the door with a tinge of surprise at this early visit. Oh, good morning, Mr. Freeman. Come in. I was just opening up. Heads to his station. Morning, Bert. Swiftly pulls out the old photograph and slides it over the counter. Know who this is? Bert's face lights up. How did you find this? In the attic. From your reaction, I think I got my answer. Belle of Sleepy Hollow. My, this is such a gift. She was so stunningly beautiful. The estranged youngster slides the picture back to his side. To be fair, I didn't come to gift this to you. Just seeing her for the first time is a gift in itself. He looks probingly at Ben's face. You've seen her, haven't you? Yep. Is she dead? Yeah, she looks like a very dead person, says, rather dispassionately. The man's hope melts from his expression. Ben continues. She's with her kids and the Reitman boy. Bert is profoundly displeased by such a casually dropped tidbit. Sir, is this a joke? No joke. That kid is definitely in the house, too. She looks after him. And there is something else in that house. Something hunting them. Didn't sound human like them. Might be connected to the murders. Mr. Freeman, I have to state this plainly. There are things you really shouldn't say. When it comes to matters such as these, not sure I follow. Adjusts his glasses, realizing the man is becoming upset. Peter Reitman was my friend. Same school. Went to softball games together, too. He was a good boy. And you seem unimpressed with these morbid things, so you came here to do what? Worry me into an early grave? It was so horrible. What his father... If he's still there, trapped with God knows what. Like Jack Williamson before him, isn't that right? Mr. Freeman, you shouldn't be in that house. Just call your company. Tell them whatever it is you're doing there, it isn't worth the paycheck. His expression darkens sharply into worry. Tries to approach him. Ben snickers. Yeah, sure. I'll just tell 'em like it is. Go back out there with that shitty reference on my resume. Look, truly sorry I upset you with this stuff. Really had no idea. You strike me as someone who cares about that place, so I figured I ought to say something. Really going out of my way here. You know, the NDA. The old man nods. Don't take what I'm saying like it's all fun and games for me. I share in the concern, all right? The old man raises his wrinkled gaze at this decent young man. I got it all wrong. This isn't something I can just walk past and pretend I have nothing to do with it. I mean, what happened to them can't just go on forever like this, right? Wouldn't want someone to walk away on me if I was in their shoes. There's already too much of that stuff going on with the living, so... No idea what I can do, but I gotta try. Someone has to. Mr. Freeman? Come on, just call me Ben. Draws a jovial grin while pointing at both of them. Ben and Bert. Ben. The old man steps outside the counter and puts a hand on his shoulder. You are a good man. Fearless. Kind. I can tell. But this will not be good for you. Already see this coming a mile off. That house kills. Did it twice already. Are you really putting yourself up to be the third? Please don't do this. Go back. The young man steps back, adjusts the glasses by the bridge, and clears his throat. Can I have that tobacco again? It was good. Rolling papers and another lighter, please. Bert understands that he is no longer interested in continuing that conversation and walks back to pick up the requested items. Here you go. Can I just say this? As he hands the tobacco over and receives the cash. Sure, go ahead. Ben braces for the speech. If something... All of this is too disquieting. He should help him. If something bad happens in there... I live upstairs. Don't... Not a lot of people like you left in the world, Bert. Seriously. Thank you. Walks out the store. The old clerk sits down on the bench behind the counter, staring at the softball bat sitting under it. Knowing the history of that place, all the accounts of the dreaded Craig Manor and its unfortunate dead, always left him anxious at the possibility that a shadow of his woefully brief friendship would somehow still be lingering in those empty rooms, in fear and sorrow, unable to escape his tragedy. To have this confirmed by this young man, it's too much. He said Miss Craig and her children were with him. and now he's willing to put himself in harm's way to help them as well. So one thing is certain, that boy isn't alone. Petey, hang in there, buddy. Ah, we've made it through the first chapter to be read tonight. Let's see. Any thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns? No, I don't see any. Very good, very good. Well, hello everyone. Hello. Glad to have you here with. Hope you are enjoying this unique version of a story. I say unique. The story in itself, well, it is unique, but I'm more thinking of the style in which it's written is definitely unique. I am rather enjoying it, and I hope you are rather enjoying it as well. I could ask for nothing less than you guys enjoying the video, and hopefully you are doing so. We will pick up here momentarily, and we're going to start into Chapter 3. Again, I see no questions from anybody, so as a reminder, the videos are going to be available on YouTube after the stream tonight. Chapter 1 is already up there. Chapter 2 and 3 will get there a little bit later this evening once I finish reading them. And if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in whatever chat you happen to be in, and I will be happy to engage with you as soon as I am able to once the chapter ends. Because I'm recording, which means I can't do it right in the middle. No. That would not work. Not at all. So, very good, sir, very good. Let's go ahead and get started once again, shall we? As we jump into Chapter 3, No Escape from a Long Death. Ben walks up to the classic mailbox next to the gate around 7 p.m. As he picks up a single correspondence, reads, and immediately throws it back in like a projectile. Bills. No idea why they would send those here if it's all paid for. Sure as fuck not gonna pay 'em. Heading back into the house, notices a black station wagon pulling up to that side of the road. Two obese, middle-aged gentlemen in seemingly performative emo attire step out of the vehicle, one of them with a camera. Guys, we're here. We're here at the Craig Manor in Sleepy Hollow, one of the most infamous haunted spots in the eastern seaboard, and the guy talking to the camera gets frantically signaled by the other weirdo to look towards the house. Oh man, this is perfect. There really is someone living here now. Both walk up to the threshold. Ben really isn't interested in playing into this cringe. Starts to head inside. The host isn't letting him go. Sir, excuse me. Doing a live stream for over 200 people right now. It's popping off, says the other guy. With this place? Oh yeah, we're from the Queensboro Ghost Hunting Society. One of the biggest channels on the paranormal, and would love to scope out the place, take some footage. We got a spirit box and EMF meters and... Hold up. Ben shuts the door behind him. You said you hunt ghosts? Where are the jumpsuits and shit? Car doesn't look the part either. Assaults the pair with mockery. Yeah, I mean, not like that. We document the phenomena. He raises an eyebrow. It isn't really hunting, is it? The camera guy interjects. We've had conversations with ghosts many times. Oh, you have, huh? With the box, right? That cycles through stations? I've seen that. Looks to me like everything else on the internet these days. Starts to grow bored of the comedy duo. Oh, what do you mean? The stream's host looks at the camera, making faces as if Ben is out of touch, not cool with the kids. Confirmation bias, as in, You're not in this to find the truth of what it is. You've already decided what this is, and you use those gadgets on your impressionable audience for clicks. Pretty lame. Come on, that's bullshit, the camera guy protests. Here's the thing, boys. This house was bought by my company, and I'm not going to tell you the name, but I can give you a little inside baseball here. If you take that camera into the house for your sensationalist cringe, I get fired. Points to the camera guy. You get sued? Points to the host. And you get sued. Chad over there gets sued. Everyone sued. It's a sue-a-thon. No joke. The two awkward jagoffs are at a loss for words. Really sorry, guys. Hey, think of it this way. The house stood here for 2 centuries. It's one tough bitch. After my company is done with what it needs to do, you can camp out here, roast marshmallows and shit on stream. Hell, I'll tune in to watch and I pinky swear, cross my heart and hope to die, that I won't troll the chat and it's all good. All right? The two men are completely discouraged. Thanks anyway, mister. The host then turns to the camera and goes, Okay, guys, don't start dipping out. We'll just drive to the old hospital again. They're dipping out, bro. The camera guy trails off. No. Hey, guys, come on. Keep those mega chats coming with questions for the ghosts. Both men awkwardly jump back into the wagon, burn rubber before taking off. The things they do for views. Ben stands at the gate and just gives out a belly laugh. It's been a while since he's witnessed something this ridiculous, live. Looks at his smartphone. He's got about 2 hours. Still have some leftover pizza. No need to cook today. Everything under control. Goes up to the study and boots the computer to load the company's internal conference call service on his laptop. Carl and Jackson will join him tonight to discuss the research and hopefully set the project's guidelines in stone. They made enough changes as it is. He sits alone in the kitchen, eating a slice. Can't help but wonder what else he can do to help them up there. Wishing that they could just sit at the table with him. If only they could eat. He wouldn't mind cooking for them. Not at all. An image of Felicity's grim ghost pops into his brain spontaneously. His gag reflex comes up, fiercely. Puts the slice down. Yeah, that wouldn't really work, would it? Felicity leans against the wall next to the door. His thoughts enter her mind almost all the time now. You're right, it wouldn't, whispers to herself, floating back into the attic, crestfallen. Most of the lights on the house are off, save for the study. A distinct jingle blares from inside. Ben greets the callers. Hey, guys. Mr. Freeman, Carl told me you're having experiences in the house. Is that accurate? Jackson's in his home office, shelves full of company awards and a vast collection of books. No video games anywhere, though. Ben feels it weird, adjusting glasses. Well, it's been lively here, I'll give you that. Carl is quiet. Is he muted? The boss tries to probe him further. Can you give us descriptions of your sightings? You were rather vague when he was over there. Well, sightings per se, there was one. After some digging, matched what I saw with someone connected to the house. Felicity Craig. Williamson, correct? A brow twist warps Jackson's expression. She doesn't like to be called that. The boss man cackles, and Carl, who's been looking at a second screen the whole time, swiftly unmutes and joins in true bootlicker fashion. Jackson presses on intently. So, you've spoken with her. The more the subject is broached, the more it strikes Ben there's an obvious interest in the ghosts themselves, going well beyond the mere cursory. It's as if they matter to something other than the game. Definitely strange. A bit, yeah. Not an elaborate conversation, mind you, but she's been very forthcoming. For a ghost, I mean. The young man responds casually. And what do you manage to ascertain from these brief interactions? She's worried about her kids, Gunnar, Lydia, and Peter Reitman, the 8-year-old who died here back in '53. Keeps them in the attic, but they sneak out once in a while. Not sure if she's okay with that. Faint manifestations of Felicity, Gunnar, and Lydia are just outside the study, leaning on the wall. The ghostly mother turns to look at her children. She's none too pleased to hear that. And any interactions with this Reitman boy? A couple so far. Just last night, it seems. It seems like a sweet kid. Felicity is especially protective of him. So, he's been outside the attic too? Ben is starting to look at his boss funny. How is any of this related to the project? Seriously. They were supposed to be discussing guidelines. Yeah, he's been out, but only upstairs. Assuming that's where his voice came from. Right. Jackson acknowledges reservedly. Ben figures it's time he asks a couple of questions of his own. Something definitely feels off. I'm curious. How did you arrive at the conclusion this house was the best spot to design a game around? It's big, but it's not that big. Exploration would be severely limited for players, unless we start adding things to the main building. You just answered your own question, Mr. Freeman. That's exactly the level of problem solving I'm expecting here. More to the point, I have full trust in your ability to make something out of. What is he talking about, Mommy? Gunnar asks, with his clear sapphire blues. Wish I could explain, dear, though it appears they believe our house to be some kind of game. Felicity wonders if Ben fancies this as some joke, their deaths, a punchline. The disappointment wounds her. Ben placates the boss man. Okay, fair. Thanks for the compliment. But I'm still wondering, why this house? It was picked by an independent researcher. Can't disclose much, but he goes by Morpheus online. Look him up on our forums. He posts on the Foggy Hill sub sometimes. That's not helpful. Morpheus as in the god of dreams? Who else works with him? I don't see how that's relevant for today's call, Mr. Freeman. This is a video game we're designing, right? Why the cloak and dagger aspects? Can't I talk to this guy? Ben is starting to become very suspicious. Jackson is not amused. Carl steps in to cool things off. Buddy, we need eyes on the ball here. It is more than a game. You will be hosting promos and tours of that house, remember? The boss looks to the side as if someone in the room is giving him instructions. Wide-eyed, then switches immediately back to normal, locked to the camera. Corporate secrecy is what keeps our code and documents from leaking online, completely obliterating any chance of a true surprise launch. That could position our company at the top. That's why. Let's move on to the feature list so we can wrap this up. Is that okay with you, Mr. Freeman? Sure. Touches his glasses slightly, while staring at Jackson. Most of their games have been leaked before, even Foggy Hill. After 30 minutes, he comes off the call, completely drained from the exchange earlier, switches everything off and leaves the study. No more work for today. Stops by the attic. You guys all right? No one responds, not even the kids. Well, I'll be in your mom's room, so if you need anything, just holler. Like you've been doing, okay? Nothing. Ben feels slightly worried, but he also understands they can't always speak, appear, or whatever. Before he heads into the room, apprehensively stares at the empty darkness of the entrance hall below. For a full 5 minutes. The young man is getting ready for bed, putting on pajamas and red and black plaid. The house is the coldest it's been since he moved here. Sets the alarm clock on his phone and slides into the duvet. Ah, cozy. Good night, Miss Craig. You should leave. He sits up in single motion. What? Why? What's wrong? Her voice moves away. We can't sleep. Can't sleep since you've been here. Here's a loud clacking of heeled boots strutting towards the attic. Then the door slams violently. Oh, she is pissed. The fuck did I? The house lies silent once more. While Ben lies back to sleep, the red hues coming from the piano hall increase in the sharpest intensity until the whole interior is tinted with this terrifying glow. Felicity stands atop the attic stairs, spotting the red seeping from under the door. Time, confusing and indeterminate as it is, nonetheless seems to be running out. Approaches the children as they play with the models and gamepads. Children, I need your help, Lydia asks. What's wrong, Mommy? Why are you so sad? Mr. Freeman has to leave. He's in danger. The small ghosts know what she means. It's coming out again. A cloaked figure emerges from the darkened flesh tendrils of this hellish trapdoor. Mischievously approaches a piano with a grin, lifts a guard with a single figure, and tickles the most acute keys, hoping to elicit some manner of reaction from the house. Will that young man rise from his bed to meet its eerily delivered beckoning? Nothing. Behind it, the shadow of a Victorian man in his suspenders and white shirt, spattered in vivid blood as a stark contrast to his faded, warbling silhouette, grins like a murderous clown under his twirled dark mustache. Sanity in this realm is rarely afforded to lesser beings such as this, indoctrinated by terror and torture, teased with matters no longer at their reach, such as life. Seldom words are spared to these things, for their initial instructions invariably suffice. Consume, torment, grab, destroy. It's all very simple, truly, yet his woman escaped this intended fate, and it wasn't for his lack of commitment to her slaughter. She's different, this mother. Her presence is strongly felt upstairs, anxious, riddled with concern, far more now, over him. It needs to confirm if he's coming out of his earthly vessel tonight, for this must end. This is why he was brought to a place such as this. Warping directly to the balcony, the demon maintains its spiritual signature hidden by expanding miasma from the cloak, muffling the environs of that entire hall with its blackened energy. Tonight, the manor affords no escape from the longest death. If the young man rises, he shall be met by this. Struggling will be for naught. Ben Freeman dreams in the depths of his own brain, shielded from head to toe with his covers, a habit he acquired from early childhood. This subtle preemptive guard he puts up is not a place it can easily reach, as the furthest depths of the living mind can often prove incarcerating for those of the ethereal persuasion. Still, some of these chaotic thoughts spill out in the throes of angst. That older woman seems to be present for a lot of these things, likely to be his own mother. Oh, this is unexpected. In this inner fantasy, her and Felicity emerge in equal standing. This isn't to be handled lightly. Despite her utterly cursed appearance, a wraith of her own long death, Benjamin cares for this woman, holding on dearly to this portrait he's found. So much faith on such a hopeless thing. Turns around to glimpse at its instrument of horror, patiently waiting downstairs for an opportunity to serve. This standstill of a house, where a separation of energies has been established by her desperate attempts to salvage the Reitman boy, has rendered the presence of this malevolent construct of Jack rather useless. This had to happen, for between the brief awakenings in this house, provided by merely transient living presences, someone who would be made to live here was essential to its designs. Now the curse can truly yield its wages, whether in his waking hours or during these careless escapes to the greater realm. He shall be intercepted and removed entirely. He is alone, feels alone. No point in having him linger further in the living realm, or theirs, this bothersome anomaly. Fuck off, will ya? Ben utters in his sleep. How curious. He is coming to, with a deep yet effeminate male voice, spurs him to react. Rise, dreamwalker. Make me leave. Mumbles nonsense and turns around on his bedding. The last thought to emerge from this young man before abandoning this momentary conscience is yet again her. He truly seeks solace in that destroyed woman. The looming shadow looks upon the attic door with a snarling twisting of lips from a bluish, decayed corpse. Felicity. She got to him first with her pleas. Clever. 9 a.m. Ben springs out of bed and walks to the balcony. Not a peep from the attic. Still, good morning, hoping for a response, no matter how brief. He sighs. Well, today it's cleanup day, so it will be a bit noisy. Hope you don't mind. Felicity told him they can't sleep. He wonders what that meant for someone who isn't alive. It's gotta be weird. Time. They have to stay there for their safety. Is there any way to fix this? How do you fight a demon? A couple of hours later, the vacuum roars all over the house, the sound bouncing off the walls in every room. In the entrance hall, a Bluetooth speaker is playing Ben's Japanese jazz playlist. Drags a loud machine behind him while going through the dining room floor, throwing in a couple of dance steps when the music picks up in rhythm. This is the sort of thing he did all the time, back at the small Brooklyn apartment he shared with his mother and siblings. Hums along a guitar solo he knows really well. Felicity is upstairs on the left wing balcony, hearing the whole thing. He cooks, he cleans, he's kind and strong, deliciously cheery. A bit rude, though. If only she were alive. The corpse lady lets slip a stupid smile, only to pull the veil close to her face, flustered at the folly of these feelings. She truly doesn't want him to go. Alas, so he must. This house will kill him. That machine he was using to clean the flooring of her home stops. All right, time for a sub. She hears him downstairs. Time for what? Floats sneakily down. He's in the kitchen, cutting up several ingredients, namely boiled eggs, a big loaf of fresh bread beside the cutting board. Peeks through the doorway to watch him labor on his meal. She hears a sorrowful piano piece coming from that device. Man, this song kills me, he vents. Approaching the music box, which magically plays entire ensembles, his past soon emerges from this memory, enveloping her. With a labored, shuddering inhalation before the plunge, lowers her head to partake in a vision. She must understand this pain of his. The very same Bluetooth speaker sits in an empty funerary chamber. Flowers adorn a glossy wooden casket. Parting words to Adelaide and cards litter the arrangement. Ben sits alone on one of the pews. The sad piano tune is the only thing heard in the entire room. This is a song he and his mother shared, held strong throughout her wake. Spoke to people, was polite and accommodating, while his siblings were exceedingly busy talking shop, ensuring everyone that came over for condolences got a prolonged taste of it for good measure. Those people were there to see Mom, It was nauseating. But now it was over. The only person on this earth who loved him truly is inside that cold pine box. With tears streaming freely, this was it. This was the moment to speak it. Mom, my dreams, he chokes up. Had you in 'em. I don't know if I still have them. I mean, we got the house. Things were good. Fuck! Takes off his glasses, shaking. So many tears. So, is there any good reason why I'm still here? Huh, Mom? Ben wishes he had died instead. Was she scared? Was she okay? Was she happy? He had to know. If he wasn't going to die in order to find that out, he had to go through the rest of his life with that gaping emptiness. The most painful question: would he ever see her again? On this day, the man named Ben Freeman stopped caring about all matters of the heart. Not so much to be free as he hoped to be with his work. Ultimately, to make the weight of sorrow turn into numbness. That would allow him to function in an emptier world. He still has things to do. This has to stop. This is the price of love? Don't fucking want it. Gets up, pulls out his pack of cigarettes, and heads to the exit in a rush. He knows she's not there to listen. Halts on the chamber's doorway, taking one last glance at her grinning picture. Tomorrow, he needs to be there to see this through. Hey, Mom? Catch you later. Wipes his face and walks away. In the shaded depths of this chamber, Felicity is a respectfully silent witness. She approaches the casket and rests her hand upon it. He was afraid to say goodbye. Ben comes out the kitchen with the sub and stuffs it in his mouth. Before him, Felicity's ghost, illuminated by the morning air, appears solid. Her puffy, distinct velvet dress was not black as he imagined. It was deep purple. She stands in front of the speaker, motionless, pulls the bread out of his mouth and attempts to strike up a conversation, slowly walking towards her. You like that song? The wraith turns away from him, vanishing into thin air, leaving purple miasma in her wake momentarily. Are you still mad? Do you really want me to leave? I can't because of my job. Can't we work something out? Felicity is back in the attic, crying on the floor, the skirt sprawled into a neat circle. The children are busy playing with the toys to notice her. Thankfully, everyone in that song plunged into her all at once. His sorrow, his inability to cope with his loss, his loneliness. Someone who wanted to die, who threw away love because it was too painful. She couldn't bear it, or stand for it. He had to go. Because if he continued to live, she reasoned, he would find it again, with someone else. But now, the pain is hers. Would she want him with someone else? Such foolishness settles in guilt. Don't be foolish, Felicity. Rises from the floor and makes her decision. In the meantime, Ben is eating his sub, casually walking around the house, when he spots a glimmer on one of the corners of the entrance hall. High up, where that corner meets the ceiling, a camera lens. Oh, that's just... wow. Grabs a chair from the dining room, places it under the camera, and climbs up. Waves in displeased agitation. Hey-oh, this thing has a mic? Hey, Carl! His phone rings. It is Carl. Hops off the chair and frantically takes the call. Any reason why you didn't think it was a good idea to clue me in on the fucking cameras, bro? Look, man, don't get upset. We have 'em here, too. It's insurance. If something happens, we dial 911. If someone breaks into the place, still doesn't cover it. Jackson yesterday also saw fit to keep me out of the loop when the subject landed on why I'm in this house to begin with. Oh, it's haunted, all right. Mystery solved. People got murdered here. For fuck's sake. Ben, you want to opt out of this project? Seriously considering it, yes. Pacing the hall in feverish upset. By the way, why go through the motions yesterday? Didn't you guys capture me getting tossed 5 feet in the fucking air a couple of days ago? Pretty sure this thing is at an angle where you could see me. Yeah, we saw that. Oh, you did ya? Well, where was the 911? The fucking SWAT team? The military, huh? I would even settle for a priest. Buddy, you're overreacting. Jackson wants to talk to you. Just a second. Here you go, sir. Jackson comes to the phone. Mr. Freeman, I have limited time and have no intention of getting into an argument with paid staff, so I'll go straight to the point. Do this, or be fired. Do this, and you'll oversee one of the most important launches in Grubbysoft's history. Who knows? One day you get to be my position and you'll understand why disclosing everything and not on a need-to-know basis is the sort of mistake only someone with zero management experience could come up with. Please stop with the house cleaning. We send 2 ladies there every Friday to do that. Stop wasting time. Get to work. The call abruptly ends. Ben is left standing in the entrance hall. Fuck. He spent the rest of the day at his laptop, begrudgingly going over the house design and where to expand it. If he doesn't show the full map for the development team before the week is over, Ben is pretty sure he's getting canned over that exchange. Shambles like the living dead, back into his suite. What a day. Everything went wrong real quick. Doesn't take off his denim vest over his gray t-shirt, his jeans, or even his red highlighted white sneakers. The glasses are all he manages to pull off his face. Collapses across the bed. Exhaustion thus overpowers him in darkness. 3:33 a.m. The slow, sorrowful cadence of the grand piano echoes throughout the house. The tune that played that morning is being reproduced by a competent pianist. Ben thinks he's dreaming, picks up his glasses and goes down the stairs. The house looks normal, so maybe this wasn't one of those dreams. As he turns to face the piano, sees the most beautiful scene of his entire life. A moonlit Felicity gently plays, swaying to the melody. He is trying to hold back the tears, but this was too much. Sniffles, trying to smile. You love that song, don't you? She ignores him and doesn't stop playing. He should let her finish. Could someone who stopped loving entirely feel this much gratitude towards another person? As she ends the piece, he takes off his glasses to wipe his moist eyes, claps vigorously. Ha! Bravo! Yeah, you sure do have an ear on you. That was perfect. In her delicate posture, stands up and bows to him, slightly lifting her skirt off the ground to reveal a cute pair of black-heeled boots, smiling with a warmth which defies her unfortunate condition. Miss Craig, I just want to say that I think you're absolutely... The tapestry before her cracks open into a shaft of sickly red light and pitch-black miasma, spilling rapidly forth in Ben's direction. Before he understands what's happening, the front door slams open. The young man gets promptly tossed outside, rushed out by an invisible push. The door shuts violently before his staggered self. Did she do that? Immediately smacks against it with his shoulder, tries to force it open. Yet the lock is already engaged. He can feel a rumbling on the wood. It is held shut by a powerful force on the other side. From this meager separation, affecting only him, Felicity stands with her back against it, while she sees the miasma crawl up the main stairs, gradually forming the shadow demon monster. It heads to the attic door. "Be gone, demon!" she shouts, desperate. He hears this clearly and reacts. Felicity, open the door! Felicity!
Please go. I don't want harm upon you, sir. Please leave.
Her voice trembles at having to send him away. I don't care! Open the fucking door now, Felicity! Suddenly the pressure on the door is gone and unlocks before him. As he storms inside, sees the horrifying scene. Felicity's ghost is holding onto the neck of a tall, gangly shadow, trying to pull it away from the attic door. The young man rushes up the stairs and tackles the dark being. Ends up grabbing his own chest in the attempt, collapsing sideways across the corridor hardwood floor, confused. This huge thing is visible, yet intangible. He doesn't give up, gets back up and punches it a couple of times. No damage. Another bout of futile shadowboxing. Felicity gets shaken off the creature's body, disappearing into a wall. Now it's just the two of them. I don't know what your problem is, man, but this isn't your fucking house. Get out.
Why would he,
The voice of the cloaked figure emerges from the darkness.
Being such as you and the boy shouldn't be. We are correcting this anomaly.
Staggered by this other presence. Who are you? Tell this fucking thing to back off, now!
No, you.
The shadow grabs Ben by the throat and furiously tosses him over the landing into the other wing, slamming him sideways against the wall. He is hurting. That probably broke a couple of ribs. His breathing is labored. That left leg doesn't feel... Oh no, it's actually broken, just below the knee. Felicity reappears.
Leave us alone, Jack. Haven't you done enough? Why the boy? Why Ben? This mother has been a thorn on my side from the beginning.
The disembodied voice of the cloaked figure threatens her, but she doesn't hear it.
If I can't take the boy, I may at last settle for you. You're the one shielding that door from us. This ends tonight,
directs the creature.
The mother, drag her in.
The grotesque shadow stops trying to tear the door down and glances warily at her. Despite the hesitance, it obeys, grabs her arm and pulls her downstairs. He's going to toss her into that red breach. The young man is seriously hurt, but he will not abide by this. Whatever that place is down there, he's certain it will destroy her. Holds onto the railing and tries to ignore the pain, to move as fast as possible. The thought that he's in no condition to do anything doesn't cross his mind.
Ugh, Felicity! Ben!
Looks up at him, trying to smile in abnegation to her fate.
It's all right. We're already dead. Please live for me.
No! He uses his one good leg to crawl over the railing, falling downstairs painfully. Pulls himself up and hops to the shadow, trying once more to punch it. This time, it somewhat works, as it dissolves into a cloud of miasma and materializes again, blocking the exit. The corpse lady rushes to his side, gasps upon feeling his pain. This has gotten completely out of hand. This poor man. Felicity, get back in the attic. Shut the door. I got this.
I won't let him hurt you.
Her voice is cracking. It's standing in the doorway. It never wanted me to make it out of here. I stay and fight. That's what I do. Go!
Please, Ben,
she cries. Hey, shithead! Round 2, fight! Ben hops off and goes after the shadow. He can't fight doing hopscotch, so pain it is. Sets his broken leg down, trying his best to assume his default fight pose, and starts punching it. Right jab, weave, full swing left haymaker. The shadow reacts to his attempts with visible caution. Despite the house once more delivering its energized state, which would render it terrifying to most. This human topsider is unusually combative. Ben's left leg gives out, painfully. Noticing the human's defenses are down, the beast counters instantly, launching him into the wall beside the stairs, against a wood panel which opens like a door. Oh, this is great. I'm about to die, and it turns out there's a hidden room in this place. Ugh. Claps on the floor, looks to the dim light, seeping from below, at the end of the corridor. It's an exit. A red door? Crawls to it. It's locked from inside. While the shadow follows, nervously clicks a latch and spills outside into a garden full of wild violets, overgrowth, a dry fountain, rising above the shrubbery. No one has touched this place in decades. He can see the neighbor houses on each side. A couple of lights are on. People may have woken up from the commotion inside the manor. Hey, call the cops! He yells, then immediately chuckles. Call the cops. Oh, man. The shadow grabs his leg and tosses him back into the corridor. While he struggles to get up, it snatches him off the floor by the neck and carries the broken brawler to the entrance, choking him with his massive predator-like claws. Over the landing, just beneath the glowing stained glass window, the cloaked phantom observes. Ben is turning blue, foaming at the mouth. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't help her, Mom. Felicity's voice sobbing behind him. Ben! Oh, no, 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 no! Not again! Please wake up, Ben! The pain has stopped. His leg and ribs feel just fine. That's a relief. A bright light catches his attention. He is standing in the stairway landing. Before him, the stained glass window is gone, replaced by a white light that should be bright enough to blind him, yet doesn't. The cloaked figure speaks. You are free to go. It's where you belong. This soothing tone leaves him without a response. From within the light, Adelaide appears. She looks healthy again, smiling, wearing her favorite summer dress with the pink floral pattern, her brown hair tied in a ponytail like she wore it before she got sick. He breaks into joyful tears. You're okay? You're really okay? She welcomes her son inside for a moment and looks him over. She's concerned. At this very moment, despite his limited knowledge, Ben Freeman has two choices: to end his struggle in the world, or there is a princess out there in need of rescue, and she'll thank you forever, like I do, his mother said that one time.
Now for the other one.
The demon instructs the beast, which is now in plain sight. A tar-skinned, hideous humanoid creature with disheveled black hair, pitch-dark eyes, pale-skinned face, and long, clawed arms. If that was a human once, it forgot how it looked. The children are all out the door, and Ben can see them, just to his right. Those are Felicity's, the little ghost she was protecting. However, the light is pulling him in. So many things he forgot, swirling inside it. His earliest birthdays, his first computer, their hurried move from Pittsburgh to New York when they got evicted, the first kiss, the night under the stars with his college ex, Kate, the way she dumped him, that moment in the doctor's office when he learned about his mom's lungs. It's all part of it. That's his life, right there.
Stay away from my children!
Felicity's voice roars behind him. That's right. That's who Mom meant. Ben pulls himself away from the gate as part of him ripples and warps. It's likely that this wasn't the right choice. But when did I ever make the right choice? What is right anyway? Mom? Gotta do something. Catch you later. The light ripples into an even stronger pull, while the images of his memories stretch into a continuum. Yet his will, much stronger. He turns to her, an instantly drops right next to Felicity, feeling queasy. She's standing over him. A broken leg twisted to the side, bright pink marks around his throat, eyes faded behind the glasses, pale. Oh, that's R.I.P., buddy. Well, grabs her by the waist, runs up the stairs, and axe kicks the creature's arm, snatching Peter from its claw as it releases. He yells, "Connor! Lydia! Back inside! Now!" The two siblings enter the attic stairwell and shut it. The beast swipes at him, crashing in the landing. The brawler runs downstairs, with the two, one under each arm like bundles. Well, these ghosts flail, absolutely aghast by what is taking place. That garden. How far outside the manor will that thing follow them? Rushing through the hidden panel on the wall, there's no time for calculations. The red door was a sign. In his dreams, this vision popping up every so often, with that old woman behind it, it was precisely for this reason. Thanks, Granny. He thinks he's running there, but in fact, they're already there. Right up against the end of the garden where a tall wooden fence with an old Victorian bench stands. Are you both okay? The corpse like Felicity is still in shock. Hey, you can talk, right? Insists. Yes. She gives an expression and expectancy of some kind of answer about her state. I'm all right, Mr. Freeman, she replies reluctantly and looks directly at the floor. I'm all right too, mister, says Peter. Looks visibly shaken up, but he's smiling. This guy is just like one of those men of action from comic books. Though as boyish as himself, adults like his father would never be this brave. Okay, we've just been through hell. Can we just drop the honorifics? Not my thing. He turns to her. You're Felicity. Turns to the boy. You're Peter. And I'm Ben. There. Settled. Felicity asks, Why did you stay? Trying hard not to show her face to him, nervously looking the other way. Despite the rush, she still recalls how carefully he carried her out of the desperate situation, with such decisiveness. They were so close. Does her appearance not cause him disgust? Well, turns out I've grown rather fond of your family, so if you made it this far together, one more is just going to improve things. At least I hope. The corpse starts crying. You should have left. You should have left when I told you to. That's not what I do. Ben looks to the house. He's already trying to work out how to get back in. Hey, that thing standing in the doorway, see? What an asshole. Clenches her fists downward, irritated. Would you kindly desist this foul language, good sir? In full Victorian outrage. We've children in our midst, and I was not raised in a barn either. Sorry. You're right. Shit. The scary corpse lady is now locked onto him with those two dark orbital bones. Scratches his head. Force of habit. Bunch of people talked like that where I'm from. She rises slightly above the floor, speaking down to this uncouth young man. I'll have you reminded then. We're in Craig Manor, sir, not where you hail from. Is that clear? He realizes this desiccated husk has the authority of a true mother. There's absolutely no avenue available to him other than contrition. My apologies, Miss Craig. Felicity is fine. Just, please, no more swearing. Even though she looks like this, he can tell she is pouting. One moment she's scary, funny the next. What should we do about that thing, he asks. We wait. The demon will not linger in the daytime. That's useful still. Will your children be fine up there? The attic is safe as long as I'm there, but I've noticed it is not interested in my children. Just Peter. He is reflecting hard on that last statement. That's weird. No offense, kid, but what could they possibly want from you? Felicity interjects.
They?
Yeah, that beast, necrid looking thing, and the guy in the cloak.
I didn't see anyone other than the demon.
This is confusing to her. Ben's cogs are slowly starting to turn. Okay, so you can't see him. What about you, kid?
Yeah, I know who he is.
He sighs in relief that he's not going to have to break his brain over it. Oh, thank God. Who is he?
He's the bad man.
His face simply melts into disappointment. There's always one, right? Throwing care to the wind.
Yeah, there's always one.
The boy nods. The young man turns back to him. He controls the thing, the monster, right?
Yeah.
Felicity is appalled by these two. She doesn't understand what's happening. The man she wished to be happy again, outliving his best life, was just standing there, in the same miserable situation they were in, talking as if is a solution to it. She knows what that creature is capable of. It's not that simple. Oh, it never is, believe me. Turns to her, eyes pleading for a break. Look, just want to figure this out. Don't shoot me over it. Shakes her head, panicked at the plea.
Why would I shoot you?
Ben bursts into laughter. Peter joins in, again staggered at the pair. How can they be this blasé about what just happened? And Ben can hear her think, akin to her own ability. Their connection thus completed. Jack, return, the cloaked man commands. The beast stands in the doorway, unsure if it should. Aren't all their prey standing there? They will not come if you're standing there. A grimace forms under the cloak. These constructs barely grasp words, let alone reasoning of a tactical nature. This house needs more power. If this thing is proving to be ineffectual, it needs more human-born negativity, swirling around the space to emerge as himself, at the height of his powers. The fact Benjamin's demise was precipitated immediately took away their one chance to accrue this. The ancient is not obeying. His master loses patience, trembling in wrath, draws a naked bluish arm of a grim waterlogged quality from within the shadow garment and grips the air. Stupid creature. The monster is whisked away from where he stands into a black mass, wrangled through the air, forming a direct arc towards the red breach, now slowly dissipating its glow. The expenditure of this failed attempt to remove the Dreamwalker from this world is taking its toll on them already. Amidst this stillness, yet another thing to envy and resent about those topsiders. They always linger longer than they can. Their touch upon the world of the living is lighter, thus easily tolerated. Beings such as themselves are parasites of other parasites, a heavy spectral chain pulling from the depths of the abyss, desperately reaching for the living through these lingering souls, mostly shielded by their faith in a higher power, their God. Albeit faltering with each age, this spiritual warding is all-encompassing above ground. It is made of the same essence which inhabits the feelings of those two. It is unheard of that one such as this Freeman boy would take to kindness before this decayed wraith. Most humans aren't this surprising in their behaviors. A puncturing red glow, peering at them through the gap in the red door. He sees the dream walkers laughing. Fear always works. Why didn't it work here? A surging tremor shuts the doors before this grudging demon. It's been a very long time since Felicity's been in the hidden garden. For what is time, if you have not senses? No body? Up there in her grave, something lies which provides no solace. even after seeing every morbid detail. Her decay thus burned into her woeful soul. But it's mostly loose bones now. She saw those and felt nothing. Death surrounded her. None get to return from this, it is certain. Being in the mist in the outdoors again, where night is terrifying and day is bleak, would have been unthinkable were she alone. Yet, being beside this man who threw his life away and laughs it off made the day brighter, just ever slightly. He's so interesting. Still looks young, somewhat alive, though that leg needs mending, and the bruises on his neck. Yeah, gotta figure those out, Ben casually replies. Felicity scoots to the side of the garden bench, away from him. He notices the warping effect that follows her when she moves fast. That stuff is seriously cool, come to think of it.
Pardon me, sir.
The trail that follows you. It's, fascinating. That's the word, right? She giggles to the side.
Yes, I understand. Try moving your arm in front of you.
Ben waves a hand in front. Doesn't see much.
Faster,
She urges. It starts glowing slightly as the trails intensify. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Rather unenthusiastically.
Why are you not surprised by your own?
Why would I be? I've seen it before. This is what happens when your brain's energy leaves the body, pretty sure. I wouldn't be able to see myself. In bed. Looking dumb.
You're the same as he.
She looks over to Peter next to the fountain in front of them, using violet petals to make artwork. Ben needs to understand. What do you think it means?
That it's after you?
Yeah.
I think it just hates you more for being able to see it in your dreams. You shouldn't antagonize it. You don't understand the danger. It can send you into the red.
Peter turns around and does a rehearsed chorus with Felicity. The red means dead. Red? Bad. Got it. He nods with a grimace. The two of them nod as well. This is of great importance. The mist is becoming brighter. The red door on the house can barely be seen from the sheer density of it. Why does it look so alive? It moves as if invisible people are passing through it at times, like echoes of ages long past, meshing together into a mass which occludes everything beyond it. It also feels invasive and chilling. It's everywhere, floor included. There is a clear distinction between this place and the house. Out here, it manifests as a spectral tide, washing away these faint contours. If these things were people once, they would be no different than ashes cast to the winds, like those creepy shadows left in the wake of a nuclear holocaust. Such things are lingering traces of ever-present yet definitive death. That's what's keeping him from calling those things out. Like a stream of water or shifting sands, this is a nature of sorts, tranquil, eerily quiet and inscrutable. Indoors, though, the presence of the dead made it stale, settled. Remembers how unnatural it felt once he abandoned the light. But now he's one of them, and a part of this strange new situation. Despite the horrors lurking within, he shares with them now. Not as bad as he thought. He dares to be optimistic. He's still himself, to some degree, which means his problem-solving skills can be employed here as well. That's all a man needs, really. To leave the house, though, would be tantamount to dragging a woman and children to the depths of a forest. No compass, no tools. That would be a dumb move, surely. Until he understands this shadowy paradigm of existence, being within those walls, even with that thing roaming about, sounds like the right call to make. He can best protect them in familiar territory. Felicity surely did. The attic has something which kept them safe. The corpse lady quietly peers at the young man from the side. This must be so strange to him. Yet his mind furiously goes through the motions. He's attentive and concerned. No matter his joviality, he is very much a man. Faced with so many questions as to how this reality works, unnecessary risks are best not taken. They're his responsibility now. Time to get moving. Felicity?
Yes, Ben?
Let's go get your kids. Thank you for listening to Chapter 3 of Spectral Braver. If you've enjoyed this reading, please make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you have enjoyed the book, make sure that you go and purchase the book, written by Tiago Resende, available through the links in the description. Sorry guys, trying to add some of those additional touches to the ends of the recorded videos so that way they are on the recorded YouTube. And we are a little over 2 hours in, which means it is time for us to say goodbye. We have read through a couple of chapters tonight, and oh, what long chapters they be. Let me check through to see if we've got any questions from anybody out there in the world. No, 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 no. No, 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 I don't see them. No, no, no. Why, thank you, Tiago. I appreciate that. I hope you are enjoying it. I am sure enjoyed it. Definitely, one of the things I love about these indie author reads is so many of the indie authors come at things so differently than each other that it gives me a chance to read a fantastic story written in a very different way, which is just great for me as a voiceover artist and, frankly, as an author myself. It helps because it gives me ideas for things that I can do. I love it. Great so far. So, guys, if you missed any part of this tonight, it will be up on the YouTube channel a little bit later this evening, all depending on how long it takes YouTube to, I don't know, upload the thing and let me put it on there. So, if you missed it, make sure you stop out there. And once again, links will be on the recorded videos. I would highly recommend that if you've been enjoying it, you stop out and pick up the book for yourself. Maybe you don't want to wait for me to read all the way through the entire thing. I don't blame you. I also happen to know that there are more books in this series that I am not going to be reading on channel, which means you will have to go and purchase. Thank you to all of you. The greatest gift that you can give me is the gift of your time. And, that's a free subscription to YouTube. I appreciate that you guys gave me the gift of your time this evening, whether it was for part of the stream or the entire thing. Thank you so much for being here with me. I will be back again this Saturday, where we will continue starting on Chapter 4, and we will continue to explore the story of Spectral Braver. Until then, have a fantastic week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you guys all again very soon. Good night, everybody.